I have unmuted the mic. I need to fix that. I created a new seed in OBS for Reaper only without my face on it, and I muted the mic. So there must be a way to mute the mic in just that scene and have it muted everywhere else. So yeah, I need to have a look at that. Note for the next one. Yeah, morning. Milo, Kev, Will, Maltus M, Klaus M, Klaus K, Martin, Alex. Who've I missed? Klaus. No, I said Klaus, didn't I? Just scrolling up the chat. Oh, Steve, homegrown. Yeah, of course. Flipping it. And Chris. Yep, Chris. Another big turnout. Yep. Okay. That's chat scrolling, everybody. 400 subs. How embarrassing. Finally got to a bit of a milestone. I think I've done I've not done too bad actually last year. I think I've more than doubled my subs in like just over 12 months, which is quite amazing. So nothing on yet. In fact, I'm not gonna. What's that doing there? Go away. Not gonna turn this lot on today. Too hot. So I'm just gonna do everything with the modular. I think, pretty sure of it. So what you heard at the beginning was a complete playthrough of this. I don't know how to say it. Bohrium, Bohrium, some heavy metal thing. And I want to work on that a little bit today. Not too much, he says. I've been ripping this one to bits. Not liked it at all, to be honest. Been listening to it and thinking, oh my goodness. I mean, I like the drone. I think that's okay. I like the building and continuously changing sequence. I do like that all the way through. There's this little bit of a rhythmic part that comes in every now and then. So I like that. I think that's okay. There was some white noise and I've stripped it out because it wasn't doing anything. It wasn't moving or anything. So I've taken the white noise out. But what I was thinking of this morning was adding some so-called modular chatter. Hey up, Keith. Yeah, so that's what the modular is going to be doing first thing. So I've pretty much stripped everything down except for the one cable I just missed. And I'll start again. So I'll turn it on in a minute. Bohrium, yeah. Bohrium. Yeah, Google it. It's like Ephemeral. All of these tracks, they're just code names really. I don't make songs as such. They're just sounds and I've got to give some sort of a name to them, so I usually go onto Google and do some search like scientific stuff or Greek mythology or astronomy stuff. I like astronomy titles. So they're just code names. I could call them track 1, track 2, track 3, track 4. So yeah, so let's get going, I guess. Come on. I'll turn these on. Oh. Yes. Be a good idea if I turned on the big switch down there. I'm breaking all the rules here with this setup because I've got about 5 million extension leads everywhere. There you go. Do we need this on? I'm going to put it on anyway. Going to put it on. I like the ring mod stuff I did last week, so I might look at that again. Is the other camera working? Let's have a look. Yeah, sort of. bit dull, isn't it? I mean, it's warm, but it's not that bright outside, really. I suppose I should be thankful for that. So I put the oscillating cameras on. Yeah, I've not got my laptop either set up today. I'm going to have to keep looking down there for the chat. Yeah, so as like I said, I like the bit of a ring mod stuff I did last week, but the one next to it warps. I probably need to get the manual down for it. I say manual; it's like a quick start thing. I do have the full manual. Warps, where are you? Whoops, there you go. So this is like a handy sort of like quick start thing that tells you a little bit about what goes on with it. Mutable instruments, so it'll be a digital module, as they all are, I think. And it does some interesting stuff, but I don't use it a lot just because. I did one track on it actually. I did a track at the start of the year. I put it onto SoundCloud and made it private because I thought, not really sure about that. Like I do with a lot of my stuff. But it was an interesting. I couldn't even replicate it now, to be honest, because I can't remember what I did. I didn't write it down. Don't write anything down. I'll just patch it up, record it, and then that's it. So yeah, we'll be using warps, probably using the ring mod, probably the ring mod and warps. But mad stuff. So lots of probably intermodulating frequency, bladies, lower flow, low LFOs, all sorts of things going on, and the perfect candidates for that sort of stuff are the distings, of which I've got, if we count the EXs, 2 each, so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8. I've got 8. I've got 8 disting Mark IVs, effectively. Wow. So, interesting. First of all, I need to do a track, don't I? I need to add a track into Reaper. Then get patching. I'll move that up to there. You don't want to see this, do you? Just the back of my head, or the top of my head. Let's put it onto there. There you go. Mugshot. So I've added a new track. Let's get Inventive FX01 for now. Well, it'll stay like that, to be honest. And I need to arm it for. I nearly put a tuner on it, and I don't need any tuner on this. It's just going to be mad stuff. I won't put it too loud to begin with because it can be really annoying. Really annoying, can't it? Noise. So I think I might use Lorelei as well, to be honest, yeah, because that's got some pretty good sort of FM stuff on it, he says. Uh-oh. No, that doesn't. I know what's happened there. So what I've got to do now, I've got to shut down Reaper and probably shut down my audio cards. So let's just see if I can fix this now. It's because I turned on the all this lot after I'd turned on my audio cards. So let's just close that a sec. Yes, do want to save it. So I'm hoping this won't break anything on OBS. It shouldn't do. But I'm basically, yeah, you can still hear my mic. It's just the computer audio that's gone off. Now then, let's start Reaper again. If I turn that volume up, oh, it is turned up. I took the cable out. There you go, that's better. Alrighty, let's put the wobbly cameras on again. Yeah, track naming. Not very inventive at all. Now I've got loads of options here actually for this. I mean, I've got Bohrium, which is 4 LFOs. I've got Pamela's new workout. There's a newer one out, but I've just got the old new one. I've got that. So I've got some LFO set up on there. I've got LFOs on the old Ornament and Crime. Then I've got the 2 dope for LFOs that came with the original setup that I bought. The 2 Pico modules, Pico envelope generators, which are by Erica Synths. They can run in LFO mode. And then all of the, I mean, the distings, like these 2 distings here, you can see the lights flashing there. Like, can take them down even lower. So they're LFOs, even though they're set to oscillators. Depends what octave range. I mean, this is pretty nifty. This of the disting actually. These are the Mark IIIs, which are just leaving one of the oscillator modes. Can't remember which one it was now. Anyway, but it gives me a sine wave, I think. I think it's a sine wave. Let's have a look at that. I just up that. Yeah, so that's what you can't see. Let me put Reaper on a minute. Stop the wobbly camera, put Reaper on. Yeah, so that's the Disting Mark III. So it can go from like full on right up there. Oh, ouch. Ridiculous sort of what's that? That's like off the scale. I can't actually hear that. That's over 10k, and I go deaf after 10k. Yeah, so, and then it can go right down, and obviously you can't hear it now because it's gone into LFO mode. So wobbly camera. So I think let's see what I can get out of Lorelei. And this is where it gets sort of like, which one shall I use? So I'm going to go local. So I'll probably use these slightly longer black ones. Let's take something out of here. And we'll put it in exponentially FM. So, but there's no CV for altering that. So you've got 2 FMs on the Lorelei. There's exponential FM and linear FM. Don't ask me to explain what they are because I've got no idea. But we can also use the volt per octave input. too loud, I hope. So it gives you the sort of idea of the sort of mad. Let's put some reverb and delay. Well, just reverb will do. Give it a bit of space. Now, what I should say is yeah, I'm using Supermassive, and I've got this going at full sort of like level, so let me, I'm going to take that down a bit, probably reduce the volume of that as well, to be honest. Yeah, okay. So that's just simple volt per octave modulation. Let's try this one here. So that's B7. So that should be a sine wave, but perhaps it is. I don't know. Right, so that's a saw. That's a sine. But I think it has wave shaping on it, I'm not sure. Or is it? No, it's the V8 that has wave shape. So, there it is. I think it's the Z knob. Oh, that's just the, no, it's the Y. So I can put those black ones back, just hold them for no reason. If I just plug in the output from this offset attenuator thingy, so I don't know whether you can hear that, but that turns into like an upward saw or a ramp, and that's a sine-ish. Yeah. So that might be interesting to modulate a little bit. Let's not use that one. That'll come in handy for somewhere else. Let's try one of these. Sine. So let's get even more madder. Because what we can use now is we can use the output from this one here into the volts per octave input. And it does that. What would also be interesting probably is because we can change the shape of the Lorelei. So let's put a slow one on there. So yeah, I mean, I could get slated for using the modular for doing the typical modular bleeps bloops, but you get lots of like little happy accidents this way, I think, in my opinion. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put another one of these into the volt per octave of that one. So you can kind of see where this is going again. Let's take this up down a bit in. Why isn't it going? Oh, wait. Oh, there you go. Oh, right, it must have been so low. And then same again. There. So you get this like chattery stuff thing going on. And I could record that for 10 minutes, but I'm just gonna try something else first though. What does that cross mod one do? He says inquiringly. Still got one more under the teamy. Yeah. Sure, won't reach long enough. You're long. Oh no, it's the. It's the wrong one, didn't I? So, oh, well, interesting. Wonder what happened there. Maybe it's the X mod. I don't know. That's probably a little bit too drastic a change, so I'm not too sure what's doing that. And that's the thing with this stuff. You can kind of get a little bit carried away, let's say. You're still here. Got to make sure you're not getting totally bored out your skull. But, so we've got some of that on one of the other tracks, so maybe we should try, because I've still got 2 more Disting Mark IVs here. I know the screen's black, but it's a time thing that goes after a bit. So let's try. So the way this works, we've got 2 inputs. Input 1, input 2 on warps. So 1 is the external carrier amplitude or internal oscillator frequency CV input. Is that right? Oh no, that's sorry. It's 5. 5 and 6. So these are, well, in the manual, 5 and 6. Inputs 1 and 2. Carrier 1 and modulator. Right, so 1's the carrier, 1's the modulator. So that's interesting. So maybe we should use that one for the modulator. And then let's put in a simple. I mean, I can. Yeah, you can use the internal oscillator on this. And I suppose at this point I really need to take an output from this. There's 2 outputs. Adam, let's just turn that down a bit, because this is where it gets a bit complicated. In fact, I'm not going to use the internal oscillator. Let's turn the internal, because what I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna put in what I was gonna do was gonna put in something from, let's try the sine wave out from the Doepfer. But what sort of a level have we got on this? What sort of level? What sort of oscillation? Frequency range. So let's turn this down a bit. And again, I'm not interested in the tuning, so I'm just going to put that into there. These are the level controls for the input, the two inputs. So let's turn the carrier right up, but let's turn the modulator right down. So what have we got here now? Now what we've, right, there you go. The big knob, A, where is it? Modulation algorithm. Right, so just make sure I'm not missing anything. Squeaker balloon. Oh yeah, Paslow, I am a. Anyone else drops in while I've been not been paying attention? Yeah, so there are a number of algorithms available from the big knob, and strangely enough, you can actually modulate it. So if you take, say, LFO, we'll put a triangle into the algorithm CV, and it'll now go through. You can, don't know whether you can see that or not. Yeah, on this camera. Probably see it on that one as well when it goes around. It's not. It's a bit dull over here, isn't it? So yeah, it's cycling through all the parameters. Yeah. The algorithm, should I say? Which can be interesting, as you can hear. But some of the algorithms are not really all that, well, I won't say they're not interesting, they're just not for me. So here's the algorithms. So the very first algorithm is a crossfade, and because I've not got the level of the modulator up, so now you can hear how it's going between. In fact, let's take it out. So that's just the crossfade. What determines? Oh, there's a timbre. Right, so there's a timbre knob here. So let's see what this does. I see. So for this particular algorithm, the timbre knob, it's called timbre, but what it does is it fades between input 1 and input 2, or the carrier and the modulator. Did I say modulator? Yeah, modulator. So on its own, it's not too interesting. But let's try out some of these other algorithms, and you can sweep between these. It's not like an on-off switch. It's like, well, a selection switch. It's supposed to fade between the different algorithms. Yeah. So let's go through these algorithms a sec. Just bear with me while I do this. Just reminding myself more than anything. So the first one is crossfade, then the next one is cross-folding, and it says the carrier and the modulator are summed. A tiny bit of cross-modulation product is added to spice things up, and the resulting signal is sent to a wave folder, the amount of which is controlled by a timbre. So 0 and full, so that's no wave folding. And you, as I said, you can put LFO on the timbre knob. So that's the cross-folded one. Diode ring modulation. So there's a ring modulator on here. The carrier and the modulator are crudely multiplied using a digital model of a diode ring modulator. Timbre processes the resulting signal with a variable amount of gain and emulated diode clipping. So let's see what that sounds like. So this is the diode ring modulation. So that's an interesting one. Yeah. Next. Oh, another sort of ring. Right, so this is digital ring modulation. It's a gentler version of the previous algorithm, which uses a proper multiplication operation in the digital domain. And again, the timbre changes the boost or the gain. So quite subtle, actually. Quite subtle. Then we have exclusive OR modulation. What? Really maths? Both carrier and modulator are converted to 16-bit integers. What? And the two resulting numbers are XORed bit by bit. Timbre controls which bits are XORed together. What on earth is that on about? Okay, let's turn the volume back up a little bit. I guess in a way, I mean, this should be perfect for modular chatter. And what I haven't done yet, there are two CVs available, a CV for each of the levels. So I'll be whacking some LFOage on that. So the next one is comparison and rectification. All I can hear is what's in my headphones. I thought I could hear some noise. Okay, sorry, yeah. Where are we at? Oh, wait a minute. I've missed one out, haven't I? So let's just do this again. So that's crossfade, cross-folding, diode ring modulation, digital ring modulation, exclusive. Oh no, I haven't. So the next one, sorry, is comparison and rectification. A handful of signals are synthesized through comparison and rectification operations, typical of octave pedals. Okay. Let's just sweep through the timbre setting. Oh, okay. Alright, okay. Now, the last couple, if I remember, so in fact, oh sorry, last three. So these are like vocoder sections, and well, I'm not really interested in vocoding. It would be, I mean, let's just try one. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And that's probably why I've never used these. Because I've never understood what I'm getting out of them. Which sounds like nothing at the minute. So, going back then. So, I'm going to forget those last three. So you'll notice that this little light changes colour for each one. So one colour for that one colour for that one, another colour there, another one, another one, another one, and so on. So what you do is, you see, if I want to cycle through these, let's say I only want to cycle between there and there, you've got to make note of the colours, probably put it somewhere in the middle, like that, and then use the offset attenuverter to reduce the amount. Because unfortunately, I mean, they're usually pretty good for CV attenuation, mutable instruments, but for some reason on the Algo CV input there isn't an attenuator, so you've got to attenuate it yourself. So I'm going to use this one here, out, reduce the offset, and let's see if this works now. It should do. What am I looking for? Oh yeah, little black one. So I'm going to go from there to there. So triangle from here, input. So if I turn that up and increase the frequency, it will cycle all the way through the different algorithms. But let's just remind myself here now. So I don't want to, I'm not really bothered about the crossfading, so I'm going to pick up there, so that's green, and then a sort of purple. So I don't want it to go past the purple. So I suppose I should remind myself what they look like. Yeah, okay. So I don't want to go past the purple. And I don't want it to go down to there either, which is the, yeah. So it's just going purple. Yeah. And then I can reduce that speed, frequency of that one. So it's slowly sweeping through those algorithms. And then I need to alter the levels over time. So kind of, I've still got the Ornaments and Crime and the Pam's Workout, but I think that they're not bipolar, they're only unipolar. So they go from like 0 to +5, whereas these lot go from -5 to +5. So let's use, I've got one left here anyway, let's use that one. Triangle. Level on that. I think that when you plug something into the CV, that these become attenuators for that. Let's just double check on that. Dum, dum, dum. dum. 1 and 2. Don't understand that. Because I thought it said somewhere that they behave like attenuators. Maybe that's in the more advanced manual. Okay. I can never mess around. I don't know what they do, but I can never mess around with that. I need one more oscillator. Well, for now, let's just use the one of the Ornament Cryon one, which I can change the speed up. I just tend to leave them on the same speed. There you go. It's all gone very quiet. Let's turn that range down. Let's turn these frequencies down a bit. And, sorry, need one more, because we need to mess around with the timbre knob. See what that does. Graham. Yeah. I'm not 100%. Oh, but it does come in pretty mad, doesn't it, ever so often? But this is the thing with this, you see. I'm just going to leave it recording for 10 minutes and just see what garbage it gives me over that 10 minutes. 10 minutes, that's like my golden sort of time, if you like. My most used time. But 10 minutes, that's a long time, isn't it, of this? There's a lot of gaps as well, a lot of silence, which I'm not 100% happy about. I'm looking at, let's go to Reaper a sec. I mean, look at the range of that. So, it's going right down sub-ask. Yeah. I reckon I should just go for it then. And then you just have to be... I saw what I could. What I could do while I'm recording this, it'll play the actual track. So, hopefully not too boring then. Let's change the speed of that a minute. Whoa! It's not going to be too hot, is it? It's actually not bad though. It sounds loud, but it sounds loud to my ears anyway. Well, that's a nice one, baby. It comes every now and then, doesn't it? Because obviously, with all these LFOs, they're all going to align at the top at different times through the 10 minutes. So yeah, probably a lot of non-usable stuff, but right, okay, let's go. So what happened there? Oh, I'm still streaming, yeah. I thought I'd cocked up then. Rewind. Record. Yeah. Let's turn that down a little bit. Probably up the reverb. Yeah. I'm not totally convinced I should be using Supermassive on this. Try. Yeah, I might have to think about that. Hey up, Mark! I'm just recording some modular noise, let's say. So 10 minutes of strangeness while the main track's playing in the background. Wow. Yeah, it's definitely a good reverb. I mean, looking at that frequency range, the spectrum analyzer there, it's almost pink noise. Every now and then, it just rams right up to like a straight line. This is set to 3 dB per octave at the minute, so that's pink noise. Hello, Fred. Yeah, thanks for popping in to say hi. Excellent. It is more cosmic, yeah, you're right. Yeah, it is more cosmic. Pro R though. I mean, I've not even scratched the surface of Pro R. I've had Pro R for quite a few years. As soon as it was released, I bought Pro R. I've been a bit of a Fab Filter fanboy, and I've only ever used the presets. So it's definitely too loud this at the moment, but this is just a recording. Yeah, I mean, with Pro R you've got so many options on the incoming and outgoing EQ on the tails and stuff, all that sort of stuff. Instead of hardly scratch the surface. Let's look into it more. Thank you very much, Fred. Yeah, 400. It'll go down again. But you know, it'll every now and then I lose a couple of subs. Either people get fed up of what I'm doing, or decide that I'm no longer worth watching, or it may be even people that have decided to shut down their YouTube account. I have no idea. But yeah, it goes up and down. But at the moment, 400. Way. If there was 400 in the chat right now, I would poop me pants. I can handle 20 of you. I mean, yeah. bit of a chit chat while this is recording, but honestly, I'm quite a nervous person, me. I don't take to public speaking very well at all. Whereas this is totally different. I think because I don't see you guys, I just see, well, I just see what we screen and we module. I don't see anybody. So although there's people watching, I don't feel nervous about it. Providing I'm only doing what I'm doing now. I mean, there has been one or two occasions where I've been trying to do, say, not a tutorial, but try to explain what I'm doing sometimes. That's been a little bit nerve-wracking, but generally speaking, when I'm just there's almost zero jeopardy. I think that's what it is there's no real jeopardy in what I'm doing. I'm just putting myself out there as I am. With, you know, if it's not going to fail, is it? I mean, it can fail in as much as, yeah, gets millions of down votes or thumbs down or whatever. But it's not like going to a concert. I mean, if I was doing like a live set, like a live gig, like a Martin Sturzer sort of thing, yeah, then that would be a lot more nerve-wracking. But yeah, just with friends, yeah, that's a good idea, really. Yeah. Good point, Alex. Any sort of creative pastime, of which cooking is one. Oh, I'm telling you, it's a good job I don't live stream my cooking. I've become rather boring these days. Even more boring than my music. I can't cook anymore. I've got bored of it, to be honest. Okay, nearly done. So I mean, some of it's just like stereotypical digital chatter, isn't it? So I don't know. I mean, I like that little meow noise just then. And the good thing, looking at the waveform of what's been recorded at the moment, you can see there's some quite distinctive quiet sections, so that will make it easier to chop this up and pick out bits that I think are interesting that I want to keep and use in the track. So we'll let this run out to 10 minutes. Hey up, Pat. There we go. Yeah, that'll do. So let's unarm that. Oops, need to save all. And what I'll do a bit of housekeeping up front. I'm going to rename this right now. But any other FXs here? I haven't, have I? So let's call this KX01. There we go. Take out the WAV and I need some and the K. There you go. So Interesting. Yeah. What next? I'm going to take this right down because I fancy something else. So FX 02. It'll be the same modular one input. But this time, probably not. Let's not use warps. It will get used again. It will get used again. But I'm just thinking, let's just unpack a lot of this. Yeah, while I'm having a bit of a NASA. Let's just start again completely from scratch. I like to get my cables sorted into the right spots. And you know, I said this before, haven't I? These are mutable instruments. Which camera are we on? Let's go to that one there. Yeah, mutable instruments cables. I love these cables. They're like a braided cable. And I bought another bag once, and they came different lengths. So the grey ones, I've got 2 different length grey ones. And then you've got the green and the red. So the green and the red, they're the long green and red. And then there's a slightly shorter green and red. And then same with the black. So yeah, they change the specs. The buggers, I hate that. I like everything to be the same. Don't like change. So let's do all these green and red ones next. Kind of therapeutic this, but so might be a bit boring, mind. I think they're all the same length, aren't they? So what I do with the green and red ones, all those long ones, I put them in because I run out of slots of my little Erica Synths cable management thingy. Let's take all these out. So there we go. Stripped it down. What shall we do now? So I want to use the ring mod again. But this time, let's just remind myself of what we got here. So we'll do don't need them, they're too long. Use these, I reckon. So we'll do let's use these. I think because I don't think they even work until you've got to have both the X and the Y plugged in. Turn the volume up, and I can see something happening on the what's the name. In this instance, the Z knob, as they call it. So the knob and the input there are linked. So the Z basically does the same as the CV input there. That's fine tune on these two. let's put a bit of the old Batumi on the fine tune, just for a subtle where would we be without reverb? So, if you remember last time, I did. I put the outputs of that into the input of the other one, and then we can. I shouldn't be doing this. I've already done this, so I'm not really being original here, am I? But whatever. Let's. Oh, I only need one input, don't I? So let's take. And I don't even need. It's me being a bit daft with my cables. Let's put that one into there. Oh. Yeah, I don't know. That's too much. But what I can do is I can use the attenuator, offset attenuator, here, in, out, just to limit the range. Actually, one thing I've never tried before is with the Batumi. I think you can cross-modulate the LFOs on the Batumi, but I've never tried it. So this is a bit too bit too cheesy, I think, possibly. Let's try some of these at... Just looking at the span on Reaper. Yeah, so this is enormously boring. This is typical. You know, I could spend the next hour messing around with this, trying to find something that I like. Not really liking this very much, but what I could do actually, is, instead of using that, let's use that. So I'm not using the Disting now, I'm using the Lorelei. Because with the Lorelei I can also automate or modulate the shape again. Yeah, can't make my mind up. It's kind of okay, but I'll record this and I'll listen to it, and if I don't like it, I just delete it. It's not working for me. But again, there might be some parts of it which I think, yes, I can use that. Let's slow some of these LFO rates down. So there's probably something there. I wonder whether I should just try some filter. Let's take the output of that and put it into one of these filters. Where are we? Input. Input that one there. Yep. And output. Because we can try some resonance. Just looking at the, let's make it 3-pole. Okay, let's try some LFO on the feedback or resonance. What we could also do is put some LFO on the cutoff frequency. Actually, I think 2-pole was self-oscillating. Yeah, there you go. Oh, that's the. I was turning a knob that does nothing. That often happens. So that's filtered it down quite a bit. Oh, cheers Milo, yeah, thanks a lot for popping in, dude. Love it. Right, so we've got some interesting resonance there, haven't we? So, yeah, just for that little bit of messing around there. And the only other thing I probably could try, let's just try another one of these outputs. Let's see what this one does. Yeah. And I'm wondering whether I should just instead of linear FM, what if I use exponential FM and take this down a bit? And I've got one more. Let's take that filter down a bit more. I've got another offset attenuator here. What I want to try is in the volt per octave, but limit it. So I want that on attenuator, in, out. Just for a bit of added weirdness. I just lowered it, lowered the Lorelei octave. Okay. Yeah. So what? Let's just check the recording level. I'm going to sit down now, do some, give my knees a rest. And my feet. Right, where am I? Oh yes. I better get recording this, hadn't I? In case I missed something. So I'll do the same again, but I'll turn it down quite a bit. So it's still recording high, but it's not going to be too painful for you guys. And so you're going to hear Bohrium through again. How great is that? Go. Might not fit, but we'll see. clouds are clearing away here now, sun's coming out, so it's going to get a bit warmer. My thermometer held together with sticky tape. It was my dad's. It's only 27.5. Good morning, Neil. Welcome. Just recording some modular nonsense, bleepy type stuff on top of an existing track that I've got going. Thank you, Klaus. I can't wait to get this off my back, honestly. One thing I found with this way of producing tracks is, so what I would normally do is I would start a project off and I would probably see it right through to the end pretty much. You know, from conception through to mastering. But what I've done with these 6 now, the 6 ephemeral tracks, is I've done them with you guys, and I've created, you know, each week I've jumped on another one. No, it's not a Jean-Michel Jarre. Klaus. Oh, thanks, Neil. Some of it, well, the main sequence at the moment, that's the Novation Nova, which isn't turned on today because it's too hot. But yeah, I'm using the modular to try and get some kind of incidental stuff going on. But yeah, so what I was saying was, yeah, about these. So I've got 6 tracks. I've had 6 tracks on the go, and I'm now trying to finish them off. And hi Alex, and it's been hard work. It's been hard work going back to each track and listening and going, oh, not sure about that. Should I add something else, or should I take something away, or and this particular one, because I have them all on SoundCloud now. I've got all 6 on, although only 3 are public. And I've changed this one about 4 times. So, and I like the drone part of it, and I like the sequencer part of it. But there's just something not quite doing it for me, so I'm just wondering whether these incidental noises will help that. Oh, so yeah, Neil, what I should say is, obviously this has been recorded over a period of about, oh my goodness, must be 6 months or so. So the only live thing going on now is that noise that's coming in for FX2. I'm recording. I know what you're saying, Klaus, but what I've found across these 6 pieces, funnily enough, I had a bass sequence on this, and it was still a track until last night, and I deleted it because the bass really is is provided by the drone. So and this is in. Just hover over this a second. So we're in D sharp 2 roughly. It'll be a D sharp 2 minor. Excuse me. So ignore all this stuff. This is the what I'm recording at the minute, I think, or probably what I'm recording at the moment. Yeah, so what I found with the bass tracks, when I try to add a bass track, something like this, it doesn't sit very well at all with the bass, what's the word for it? The fundamental of the bass drone, which sets the key. Yeah, it was. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have deleted it, but it's too late now. I was quite ruthless last night. I thought, well, this isn't working. Delete it. Yeah, and it's quite in a way it's quite minimal, although you can see in the drone section, between the drone divider and the sequence divider, there's 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7 like drone elements, varying from like a bass level drone up to something that's higher frequency. The OB12 part of the drone isn't really a drone, it's just more of a high frequency pad sort of sound. And then there's only 2 sequences going on this, so the second sequence isn't a melodic sequence, it's just a it's like a percussive sequence that you can hear coming every now and then. You can see the faders going up and down. So yeah, so there's only really one melodic sequence, but I used Stepic to create it, and it just selects patterns as it's playing. It selects, I think it sets up about, I don't know, half a dozen or so patterns, and then while that's playing I used automation in Reaper to change the filter frequency level in the Novation Nova. Yeah, Neil. My last album featured a mix of synths and sort of sample library stuff over the top, a bit of choir, a bit of strings. So I've got quite a few now sample libraries for classical instruments. That was interesting, that last bit there, isn't it? So yeah, stop the recording now. So yeah, I'm not sure that I want to do a third one, because then it just gets too much, I think. Time is it? Oh my god, we're on for an hour and a half. Time just flies when you're doing this stuff. It really does. What now, I guess, is the question. Let's turn that off a sec, because what I think I'm going to do, and this is where it could get very boring for you, so I'm kind of mindful of this, really, not getting too boring. But what I would do is I would add some volume automation to both of these. Now, for the FX02 track, I might not chop it up. I might just leave it as it is and then just go searching through and then use volume automation to bring it in. And the thing with that is, it's kind of like, it keeps it sort of, or makes it random. Time may not exist. Yeah, it keeps the sort of, it keeps it random. when things occur. So that's the two ways of doing it. I can either select bits, chop them up, move them to where I want them, and arrange it in a sort of a proper arranging way, or I can just use the sound that I've recorded as it's recorded, and then just see what I bring into the mix every now and then. So for instance, let's take these right down so that they're totally out of the mix, and let's start it playing. So this is the ideal time while it's building up to probably try. Let's zoom in on the start of this track, and let's forget about FX01 for the minute because they are quite drastic. FX02 is a bit more subtle. So let's just try and see what, and I do this all the time, it's all experimentation just to see what happens. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Let's see what that sounds like. So probably a little bit too soon. Let's move this down here a bit. And probably a bit too quick. So I mean, when I work this way, your volume automation, or the volume automation, almost becomes like an envelope, like a note being pressed. So there's your attack and there's your decay, or you've got some attack, decay, sustain, sorry, and then release. Attack, decay, sustain, release, whatever. Yeah, so it's yeah, interesting, isn't it? I guess. So let's see what that sounds like. Yeah, nothing, it's not doing it for me. Can see some sort of there's a, oh, how do we do this now? I need to ask over at the Reaper forum, but you can change the waveform to like a spectral view. I don't know. Oh, right. Okay. Now, I've not used this before. So, oops, I don't even know what this is doing. Wow. Has this changed it at all? Let's try it. I haven't got a clue. I think rather than stumble along and not knowing what I'm doing here, I need to research this more. But what I was thinking was the spectral window, or the spectral display of the waveform, basically shows you what frequencies are hot. So if I bring up span, and let's just solo FX02 for a second. And in fact, what I should do also is just turn this off for a minute. Bypass. So you can see as it comes along here, you can see, well, it's easy to see, but I'm guessing that where these striations are here, it gets even wilder. So what I'm thinking is that the the spectral edit view will give me a way of like jumping onto points of interest. Although that's not to say that the darker parts are not interesting, if you know what I mean. Just different. So yeah, interesting that. So how do we turn this off? Do we just do that? Oh yeah. Okay. Interesting. Oh, what's that there? It's left. Oh. I have no idea what's happened there. I hope I haven't broken it. Spectral edits. What does that do? No idea. What does that do? Absolutely no idea. Okay, so let me just, I need to back up, don't I? Let's do a Control Z. So I want that line to go. There you go. Hey, Tony. Good to see you. Good Saturday morning. Hope you're doing well. Yeah. Okay, back to this. So what was I doing? Unsoloed that. So yeah, I was finding somewhere to just bring this in early doors. Yeah, so that sort of thing, probably a little bit more abrupt, but then gradually increasing, and then let's see how it fades out. Yeah, sort of, you know, that sort of thing. You can probably tell by the tone of my voice that I'm not overwhelmed with it, to be honest. Maybe if we also incorporate so without knowing what these are, let's just have a try, a bit of a listen to. Let's try that one there. It would have a press play. So again, I mean, that might work. What I'm going to be a bit careful of is they've got other tracks that do similar sort of stuff, so I don't want it to be just too, what's the word for it? Too predictable, really. Too cheesy. I like cheese, but actually another thing I could do with these, yeah, so stereo image, let's try that again. Stereo image is something that I kind of leave to my delay. So you'll notice that pretty much everything here is just straight up in the middle. This mix is a bit different because this is like a stereo. Let me just go to that a second. It actually features 2 takes of OB12. Where are we? There we go. So let's find somewhere where this comes in. So although that is straight up, there is a stereo, and you can see in the meter there, you see how it's bouncing around left and right. Whereas if I go to, say, the bass drone, that's just mono all the way, as is that one. So these rely on, sorry, not just delay, I should say. The delay imparts stereo onto the sequence, but the drone gets its stereo image from the reverb, I should have said. But all these tracks here are all mono tracks. Oh, that isn't there. Oh, I think, which one's that now? Oh, there you go, sorry. So for this one, Drone 05, I've got a chorus preset. Yeah, that's interesting. Forget these things. It's amazing. So yes, that does do some stereo. Elements will be stereo because Elements is a stereo module, but it's got stereo output. Doesn't have to be stereo, but I use the stereo output on it. And so yeah, let's turn all those. So it gives, what I'm trying to say is we get this sort of like almost nice Klaus M, this sort of like stereo image to the drone, and then the sequence. No, I just did some recording, Klaus. So some modular bleeps and stuff. Yeah, so I suppose it's interesting just to explain what I'm doing here with the sequencer section, and I'm using timeless, but I don't use a typical dotted eighth. So dotted eighth is so common with Berlin School. So I thought I'd try something different. And I quite like this particular setting. And it makes what is quite a boring sequence. So if I mute the delay, so let's go back here a bit. So quite boring sequence, well not boring, but you know. Bring in the delay. And the only thing you've got to watch out for with this is because you can have notes that bounce at the same time as the incoming notes. So the delay notes, they can be too close together. They can be quite dissonant, but I think I've got away with it on this one. There are some, you'll notice that there are some slightly dissonant intervals, but because they're panned left and right, kind of get away with it. I mean, I have loved sequencer music since discovering Tangerine Dream when I was about 14 or 15. Didn't even know what sequence of music was until then. Oh, and of course, Autobahn by Kraftwerk. I just love sequencer music, and the thing that gets a lot of people is that, oh well, it's just so robotic, and it's you know, it's got no life. There's no humanity to a sequence, because it's on the beat. Everything's on the beat. But I quite like that. I always have. But yeah, so you can hear how the stereo, the delay helps with the movement of the sequence, and it gives you that like stereo image. And of course, it's still got reverb, so I've got a certain amount, well, pretty much all of it going to the reverb. And also, you've got to remember is that when you're using delay as a send effect, that you need to send that to the reverb as well, at lesser or greater degrees. So yeah, might as well look at this other one as well while we're at it. So this other one, just to give you an idea what this does. Let's get to a point where it makes a bit of noise. Oh, it's coming up. So if I just zoom out a second. So it's pretty much atonal. There's a little bit of tone to it, but it's mostly like a percussive sequence. Yeah, I mean, Rubicon to this day remains my ultimate favourite sequencer track. And I don't know whether you're aware, Tony, but I bought the box set that they released a couple of years ago, and it's been put together by Steve Wilson. Some of it's been remastered by Steve Wilson, but there's a bit of a story in there about how Rubicon was made, and I always thought that Tangerine Dream got into a studio, they ad-libbed, you know, and just played together. Not ad-libbed, what's the word for it? Ad-lib, that's what comedians do. Improvised. So I thought Rubicon was a pretty much, I say live, but live in the studio recording done at once, but it's not. Rubicon was basically what we do here, this sort of thing, where they brought different parts together. Although it must have been really hard back then, because they've been dealing with probably 2-inch tape, cutting little snippets, 1/4-inch snippets out to, you know, move them into various places in the on the track. Yeah, so we've got it so easy now. But yeah, it's coming to an end, this bit now. But you can sort of like hear how that percussive element comes in and out. So yeah, anyway, I just thought I'd explain that. Oops, press the play by mistake. Where were we? Should we do this one as well? This is a funny one. I've left as modular 3, rather uninventively named. And I've ummed and ahed and deliberated about this one, whether I keep it in or whether I take it out. But it was it's a recording of the Distinguy X polywave table algorithm. So I'll play some of this now. Lots of reverb. So they're just intermittent pings. And sometimes I like it, and sometimes I don't. I've not made my mind up yet. Gotta make it up soon, mind. Just changing some of these little curves here. But it... I don't know whether you... So let's just take... No, that's the same. No, it's very quiet as well. It was recorded quite quiet. Look how low that's been recorded. And so I added automation over the length of the track to bring some of these in more than others, if you know what I mean. It's nice sometimes how it goes through supermassive. So supermassive makes it ring out quite a bit, doesn't it? So yeah, that's been another one that's been like hovering on the chopping block, but it's still in there. Still in there. Right. Okay. What I was going to say. So let's go back to the beginning. Let's turn off all these solos. Pan. Oh, that's where we were. I was talking about stereo image, wasn't I? So what I try to do with the FX is, providing it's not too strong, because sometimes panning can be a little bit overpowering and annoying. But I put a pan curve on here as well, pan automation track. So for instance, I got these two here coming in. Let's zoom right into that. And I've got this one here, so I could just have this going gently across the spectrum. Sorry, not the spectrum, but the pan. As it goes across there. Nothing too drastic. And then for these two little humps here, I could have it starting off in one side and pan over to the other, like so. Let's just see what that sounds. In fact, no, sorry, what am I doing here? Talking rubbish. So what I was going to do is have it in one ear and the other one in the other. Ah, okay, see how that sounds. Mountains. It's almost like an echo, isn't it? Let's set that down a bit. That's quite loud. That. So, here we go. Let's try some more. yeah, there is such such a small sort of slightly bassier sound. I think there. Let's just try that. A bit of a sweep. But that needs to sweep as well, doesn't it? A little bit. Wow. Probably a bit faster, a bit more drastic. Hello. Oh God. I've probably said that wrong again, haven't I? I keep forgetting. Because you're a French Hulot. Oh, need to write these things down. Welcome to the stream. Oh, thanks to Alex. I should have said before, Alex. Thanks for putting that link to my live stream on the Sinfera Discord. The reason why I didn't put one up there this morning was because I've not been very active there while I've been trying to get this album out. I've not had enough time to listen to everyone's new tracks, so I thought it would be a bit cheeky of me if I put a post in the share your music stuff. So thanks for that, Alex. Yeah, and thanks Ulo for popping in. Julo. Bit Jacques, is that Julo? Who knows? Answers on a postcard. That's not too bad, that's not too bad. I mean, maybe. I know what you're saying, Alex, but I have been. Yeah, okay. Yeah, so you actually pronounce the J, don't you? Julo. So, right, Alex, I know what you're saying. About that, but I'm very much, and always have been, a believer in being very active in the various forums where people share their music. And when I say active, I mean sometimes I listen to something and I don't know what to say, so I'll just say, "Oh, that was nice, that was cool, thumbs up," or whatever. And I listen to stuff. I listen to a lot of stuff. I listen to it all the way through. So that's why I don't. So if I've not been listening to other people's stuff, this is what I'm trying to say. If I find I'm not active in a particular forum like that, I generally don't post my own stuff. Yeah, because I don't personally think that it's the thing to do. But that's just my opinion. Je m'appelle Andy. Or quelle heure est-il? I think the only two French phrases I know. I know bonjour, obviously. Merci beaucoup. Oh, I haven't said that right. So I'm just wondering whether probably this also could do with a bit of delay on the FX1, possibly, but maybe a different delay. But let's just try it on this one for the time being. But I'll just take that level down a bit. Probably a bit too subtle. I'll have a think about that. I mean, I've got the reverb full up. It's not... It's not sounding so spacey, and it might be a bit too squeaky as well. Let's go through a few more of these, but what I want to do is I want to put that back into the middle. Gotta try and keep ahead. Yeah, these must be like low frequency things. Hi up, Brett. Yeah, no worries. Been going for 2 hours, just over 2 hours, so I'm going to try and get another 50 minutes in thereabouts. I've just been recording some modular chatter stuff this morning. So just trying to find some bits that I can use. Probably a little bit too samey, these. Oh, Ceramind. Oh man, I've got to try and remember your guy's name now. No, Elias. Elias. If I remembered that correctly. Welcome. Not seen you for a while. So maybe some of this stuff is a little bit too cheesy, a bit too you know. Let's try some of these. Let's try this one here. That is strange, isn't it? So there's hardly. I want to solo that a sec. Oh yeah. Okay. I mean, that would almost go to full level all on its own lonesome there. You know. Could it go shooting across the pan there? I mean, that could probably do with being a bit louder. And to that end, I mean, what I could do is just split that there, then split it there, add a bit of a fade, and then take this volume up a couple of dB. Yeah, very subtle. Trying to make it a little less subtle. Let's hear it in context. Yeah, I'll have a think about that. That's not staying not necessarily there. I wonder what the other one does actually there. Let's just pick that up. Yeah. I actually like that one better, to be honest. Um, yeah, I like that one better. Let's leave them in contact because let me bring that up a little bit as well. Oh, probably not that much. And we'll have it going right across the head again. Do the other side. Yeah, okay. Lots of work to do with this. Let's listen to this a minute. No, I mean the washiness that you get from the let's put that down to there. That you get with it going through supermassive is quite nice. In fact, what you can do sometimes, let's just try this here, see how this works. So I'm going to send this through the reverb, but I'm going to leave the level down, and then on the send, make it pre-fader instead of post-fader. So, irrespective of the fader level, it's going to get sent to the reverb. Let's solo it. You know, so that puts a whole sort of new complexion on the Sonics, doesn't it? More usable in a way, I think. So maybe the problem with this, of course. So let's say that I don't want it to go to the reverb because I've now sent it to I've set it to be pre-fader. I then need to add in a send. So where is it? Send volume there. And then that way I can control how much of this goes through to the reverb. So we could start off, bring it in gradually, and then modulate it a bit over time. Like that. And then I like that last one. Huh? So let's see what that sounds like. Bit too subtle, isn't it? Let's bring that first one was too subtle. See, I think that sounds okay. The only problem with it is where it is in the track. There's too much going on. So if I unsolo that now, oh maybe. Pan. Now then, pan. I think, does the pan still work? Let's just try that. Just add some mad panning in. So I'm not sure this works with a pre-fader. Soon find out. Oops. But what I like about this is so everything is. I mean, every audio sample, every audio track in this project is hardware basically. There's no software audio source, it's all hardware. But then bringing it into the DAW, then I can do all this sort of post-processing of the original recordings to get more interesting sounds, if you know what I mean. I can't quite tell. So that is definitely food for thought there. Probably a little bit too in your face in places there. But now I've got to do that for everything else. So where I've got these coming in here, I've got to bring the reverb back in. Yeah. I should turn snap off. Keep leaving snap on. I don't really need it on, do I, for this sort of stuff. It's not like I'm trying to hit a beat or anything. Right. Yeah, that might work. Interesting. I'm just listening to that's probably a little bit too harsh. Cheers, Elliot. Do I remember your name right? It is Elliot, isn't it? Or something like that. Maybe like a bloody sieve. So what I've sort of like gotten onto now is I'm kind of ignoring the dry sound completely. I'm just doing all the wet. Too loud, Susie. suppose the good thing about this is that it'll be adding some sort of higher frequency elements, which this track has been lacking up until now. Me likey. Oh, me not likey. Nothing at all on those. So this is, I mean, this sounds better than the white noise that I used to have in that I deleted. It's got a bit more character. If anything, actually, what I should do as well now, really, just remembered. And just to explain, I mean, because I can't hear anything above 10k, I thought I had that set. Wonder why. Spanish seeing it way up there. I suppose it was that loud, was it? Yeah, I need to pull that back, don't I? There's no point in me keeping that higher frequency stuff in because I can't hear it. So I therefore don't know what it's doing. But what I should do anyway is, I've got no EQ on here, let's put some EQ on. And I do want some higher frequency stuff, but again I don't want to be going too high. And I'm not particularly bothered about the low stuff at all. So I could be quite drastic there and take that out. Mind you, there were some low bits that were nice, wasn't there? So yeah. Ooh, decisions. Let's leave it down there. Don't need the sub stuff. Don't really need anything below D. Sharp 2. Okay, let's get back to this. I think that's one of the low ones. Let's bring the volume up on that as well. Possibly. Not so sure about that first one. So yeah, just sketching stuff in here now. This is not serious. Just random bits. not tried that one, Kev. Let's leave this round. Do another pass of this. Not too bothered about those last couple. So obviously, need to take this down at the beginning. Hey up, Mike. Thanks for tuning in. Audio modern, yeah, I should know that. I guess, yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't use a lot of samples as such. If I tell you what I did get, I bought that flipping. Let me across there somewhere. I bought that Iris. I paid full whack for it. I paid 150 quid for Iris. And then about 2 years later, it's out for like 20 quid. And I'm thinking, what? Yeah, so it's not the same as what you're suggesting there, though, the loop mix. But it's the only thing I can think of that I use to drag in external audio, clips, that sort of thing. Where was I? Oh yeah. Okay. I thought, are we getting? Hey, Mike, you might be able to help me here. You might not. But let's have a think about this. So what I'm doing with on this particular effects track, I'm sending it to the reverb pre-fader. That's so that I can only hear the wet. So it's 100. All I get is the 100 wet reverb effect. But does it affect the pan as well? Because I'm not. Let's have a look. Let's just put some drastic. Let's bring this back down here a bit. So with pan at 0. Oh, sorry, center. This is what it'll sound like. Let's make that a bit more harsh. In fact, I suppose I should just concentrate on that particular one track. So obviously it's got stereo width because of the reverb that it's going through. But what if I then add in a load of mad pan thingies? Ah, right, yeah, VCAs, yeah. I used to do that more in Studio One. But then I stopped doing it anyway. But I know what you mean. it's a handy way of handling your automations, isn't it? Because you can have a VCA track affect a number of other tracks. Yeah. It's not, well, in terms of a door or a mixer, it's a mixing term. It's a mixer, a hardware mixer term. So it's not voltage controlled amplifier. Basically it's oh god, what is it now? I don't even know. Does it still stand for voltage controlled amplifier? I can't remember, but it is. Yeah, it's a hardware console term. I'm pretty sure. So it is a voltage controlled amplifier. Is it same as you get in modular? Okay. But yeah, it's worth looking into. Let's try these stereo things now on here, see if it comes through okay. So I'm not sure whether it does anything. It may be because you do indeed, Mike. Yes, make it so. VCAs. Of course, in Reaper, a track is a track is a track. So, you've got you add your new. Come on. Why isn't it? There you go. I was double clicking in here like an idiot and it wasn't putting it in. So, how do you do it now? Do you, is it through groupings or something like that? Oh, I can't remember. Track grouping. Parameters. There you go. So you've got your VCA lead and your VCA follow. Yeah, it's basically. Is it worth doing it? Is it worth doing it here now? So I'm going to call this track a VCA lead. Okay. So let's call that VCA. I don't want to steal your thunder, Mike, because I'll get this all wrong anyway. Okay, so add a few more tracks now. Come on, double click. Now, so I don't know. Let's call this guitar. Bass, keys, or whatever. Three will do. What you can do is you can set these at whatever level. But I think what you can then do is you go track grouping parameters, and you make this VCA follow. Same with that one. Track grouping, parameters, follow. Same again for that one. Oops. Oh, there you go. In fact, you haven't even. You can just keep that grouping window open. Call it group 1, but you can rename it. So you can call this VCA main or whatever. So, because you get how many? So 64, a possibility of 64 groups. So what you can do then is because I've got these 3 tracks to follow, and the way it does it in Reaper, obviously it'll be different in every door, but you see a little red mark at the top right of the fader there. But on the other 3 tracks, there's a little red mark on the bottom of the left of the fader. That means that this is a VCA lead, and it's coloured it red because that group, because I can make another one. Let's just make another VCA. VCA 2, whatever. So bring up that thing again, parameters. So let's, for group 2, I'll rename this to VCA 2. I said 2 and a type 1. Again, make it a VCA lead. So it uses another colour now. In fact, you can, there you go. You can change your colours. Colour. Make it purple, whatever, magenta. Okay. So there you go. And then some more tracks. Click on that one. Make that a follow, part of that group. VCA follow. VCA follow. And again, we could have these at different levels. So what happens now, I think, is... Oh, it's not working, is it? I thought... Oh, my goodness. So, yeah, Mike... Help! I could have sworn then that what would have happened was, as I changed one, it would change the others, and it's not, is it? So I'm not quite understanding. So it's enabled. Parameters, VCA lead. Because you can even reverse the volumes. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing wrong there. I thought I'd set that up right. I've done this before. I thought that you actually physically saw the sliders moving, but you don't. Doesn't seem to do it. It's not because of that, is it? It's not because I'm soloed, I'm sure. VCA lead. I mean, oh, I'm lost. I'm lost. I wonder if it's, let's take the VC. Perhaps I was thinking about something else. So if I select those now and make those volume follow, close. Sorry, Mike. Perhaps that's what I'm thinking of. Hey up, Chris. Yeah, I don't know, Mike. I don't, and in a way, I'm not really bothered because I don't use it. But yeah, if you set it to volume lead and volume follow, so oh wait a minute, what? So they're all following each other, aren't they now? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you know what? There is so much stuff I've got to look into there. I'm not even going to bother now because it just goes off on one, and I haven't got a clue. Yeah, possibly. Yeah. I remain a dumb person in that regard. So what time are we on? Let's play this through. So yeah, what I was trying to ascertain was, does the panning affect the send? Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I know what I've done wrong here. I think there is a... Oh, what a wally. Send pan. There you go. What a blunker. All right, cheers, Graham. Thanks for tuning in, mate. Do appreciate it as always. Yes, I should have added a send pan level thingy. So now if I bang a load of points in here, And then... Oh, you off too, Kev? All right, see you, mate. Thanks. Oh, wait a minute. I'm getting confused now. It's Graham that's going. Yeah, so Graham's gone. Kev said hi, see you. And now Alex is saying, see you, Kev. Pay attention, you guys. Oh dear. Right, so this will behave a lot. This is how it should be. See you, Kev. See you, Klaus. All right. Okay. So, you know, all possibilities. Everything's on the table still. I just hoped I was going to finish this one. Dear, like this weekend, but I've still got some more sound design to do by the looks of it, haven't I? I didn't do much to it. Cheers, Elliot. See you off as well. Truth be told, what I should really do is set up a reverb track just for this FX01, because what I might do at some point is bounce the reverb wet effect and then use volume automation on that. You know what I mean? I could just get random here, couldn't I? Maybe stuff will work, maybe it won't. I don't think they were that interested, to be honest. Interesting to say. But obviously, I don't want this going on all the way through the piece. So, you know, let's try a little bit of a random poke here, see what happens. do that, Mike. I was going to tap up my lad to do it, but I don't know, he's not showing any interest. In fact, to tell you what, Mike, I'll show you the track that I was thinking of getting my lad to put some drums to. I think it was this one here. Now the thing is, with this, is it's not 4/4. Has that worked? Has that link worked? It seems to have screwed up in OBS. Let's play this for a little bit. This thing, thank you, Alex. It kind of, the percussion, well, not percussion, but the rhythm of it. I mean, it's deliberately not wonky, but it's not 4/4. I sometimes get a feeling that it's like a 3/4 or triplets, but there's also some sort of like 7/8 going on. You can't hear it. Probably because let me tell you, I'll just stop this playing. But yeah, Mike, if you fancy having a go at some drums on that, have a think. That's the one I would like some drums on. There's probably a bonus track or something like that on the album when I release the album. Okay, food for thought. Or I might post that again over. I might give you the DM. Yeah. Where was I? I tell you what, you've done very well today, hanging on for this long. What are we on? 2 hours and 50 minutes nearly. Where was he on this? Mike, right, okay, so the yellow is pan and the red is send. Now I'm a bit funny with the colours. Yeah, the yellow is pan, yeah. I didn't like the default way that what's the word for it? Set up the colours for the various automations, so I simplified them. So basically anything that's a send volume, it's reddish. Send pan is like a cyany sort of like light blue colour, and so on. I just listened to what's it just dawned on me that by moment. Oh yeah, right, okay. Yeah. Nice one. Where's we? Oops! Why does it do that? I hate that. I wish it wouldn't. I just accidentally clicked up there and it repositioned the playhead. I say I wish it wouldn't, it was me that. I wish I wouldn't. Obviously I've got to fix all these little resonant peaks and stuff, and we don't want that low end, so I thought I'd fix that on that one, so we don't want anything down there really. Because D sharp 2 is quite high, but it just kind of worked with this particular piece. So I just want to do a low cut. I don't want all that stuff coming in down here really. I'm probably go quite drastic as well on the slope. It's only effects. Probably need to do the same. I'll just try and drop that over there. Not that I'm using that one at the minute. Preferences, I don't know whether you can. Oh, it's not on that one, is it? It's. Theme editor. It's not that one. Theme adjuster. Oh, it's not that either. I think it's that one there. Cheers, Julo. Thank you for tuning in, mate. So I don't know whether you can see this, Mike, where I set the. Where is it now? Envelopes, there you go. Can't make this any bigger, but basically what I did was oh, it's like it was these here. You see the envelope FX parameter 1, 2, 3 and 4. It would what it does is it just randomly applies a colour. So if I had 4 different colours in there, once you've used parameter 1, 2, 3 and 4, when you come to 5 it uses the colour for parameter 1, and 6 will be parameter 2 and so on. I thought, well, I can't be bothered with that randomness, so I made all my effects parameters the same colour. But by the looks of it, so I've left these other ones as pretty much the default. So yeah, pan is like an orangey yellow colour. It's orange really, isn't it? It's orange, but it kind of looks yellow, doesn't it, on the screen? Yeah. what I asked for on the forums some time ago was the ability to change the colour of the automation lane, actually at automation lane level. Just go automation colour, and they refuse to listen to that one. I suppose they can only do so much, can't they? Sure what that one is there really. Oh, now then. So let's go to that one a sec, because if I bring that one in as well on the audio track, let's see what that sounds like, because I like the sound of that on the reverb. Interesting. So the interesting thing there is that the dry sound sounded pretty crap. Maybe it didn't. Maybe it didn't. I don't know. That's a funny one, that isn't it? Let's try that sort of shape. Yeah. Happy accidents. Yeah, it's just mad, isn't it? Really. I mean, does that? You know, there are times when I can go to pretty much any of this stuff if I know a sound that I want, like a typical sort of like subtractive synth sound or whatever, a pluck for a sequence or whatever. I can do that without happy accidents. I just know how to get them up and running. But this sort of stuff, I really love this sort of happy accident sound design. I just love it. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I'm listening. I will often listen to my own stuff and go, something that's like 2 or 3 years old, and I'm going, God, did I do that? That's not bad, though, is it? Anyway, enough of that boring crap. That's a definite maybe, I think. Well, I don't know. I don't know, Might be, might not. Yeah. Don't need them. Could try some. Let's try some spikes. So like pinging the reverb with some noises. this all day. Not sure if these sound of anything. Thanks, Kev. But you know what? I mean, and this is the thing, right? It's why I'm doing what I'm doing at the minute. I've got these like drone pieces going on. So no arrangement, no song, no, chorus, verse, chorus, middle eight, blah 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 stuff. No chord progressions. No, nothing like that. It's just pure indulgence on my side. And I really don't care. It's what I want to make. It's what I want to listen to. I don't know, it's just where I am at the moment. I just like long sequences. I would often listen to something that, say, perhaps JMJ or Kraftwerk or whatever did, and I'm thinking, oh, I wanted to listen to that some more. So that now that I'm producing it myself, I'm going, well, actually, I want to make this 10 minutes long and bollocks to it. So, because I can. And hopefully, hopefully, it's not a given, but hopefully some people will enjoy it along the way. Speech over. Don't really do anything. Jean-Michel Jarre. I mean, obviously, I remember it quite clearly. The day that I bought Oxygen and then Equinox. I mean, back in the day as well. I'm pretty sure it was getting airplay on Radio 1. I mean, that is a bit strange in a way. But such was the popularity at that time of Jean-Michel Jarre. But who here has got Waiting for Cousteau? Because if you listen to Waiting for Cousteau, especially the 45-minute long ambient piece on the flip side of the CD, I say flip side, I think it was one big long CD, but yeah, that is not radio friendly. Yeah, I do know the movie you mean there, Kev. I just can't remember the music in it. 3 hours and 7 minutes. Mike McClure. Hello there. Thanks for tuning in, mate. Was it really, Kev? I didn't realise that. I can't have seen that because I think I remembered it, to be honest, so I mustn't have seen that one. Gallipoli, though, I think I did. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think I did see Gallipoli. It's quite a harrowing film, isn't it? As all war films are. Let's have a look at this other effects track. So it's like a bit of a purring thing, isn't it? In places. Are you over on the East Coast then, Mike? I watched that Braveheart. I was crying before the first 10 minutes were up. I get very emotional now watching movies. I would say, well, since having children, really. I don't know. I just changed so much. Yeah, Braveheart was. Oh, all right. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry. Yeah, I meant to say West Coast. Yeah. Never eat seaweed. Yeah, West Coast. You done well to get in there then. I should be closing down now, really. But just adding some little incidental bits that are recorded before, just trying to find somewhere for them. Well, that sounds lovely, Alex. Falling Down. What's that one? I can't go to the cinema and watch certain movies because I know I'm going to start blubbing. Nice one. I tell you what, I mean, let's talk about tea jerkers. Yeah, I'm hungry. I'm thinking I'm hungry. But we're coming to, I mean, you get the idea what I'm doing with this now, don't you? But let's talk about tear jerking films. E.T. So that bit where he opens the little bag, the body bag, the little zipper, and he goes, E.T. phone, or whatever it is. That is a tear jerker. You've got to like be going, yeah, when that bit comes on, even though you know it's coming. Another tearjerker. Well, Blade Runner. I mean, I can't watch that Tears in the Rain speech without blubbing. It is just, even sometimes just thinking about it, it sets me off. But the funniest tearjerker. It's a funny one, E.T. I know what you mean. It's not. It was a kids thing, really, as well, wasn't it? To be honest with you, but did you not? Because he was like he was dead, and he wasn't. I mean, what's not emotional about that, Kevin? It is will get an emotional injection. But who remembers that film called Hook with who's in it now? Is it Robin Williams? And it's a Peter Pan film. Who played Hook now? It was that oh, I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter what it was. The thing is, I was round at the mother-in-laws and the father-in-laws with the kids. The kids would be about, I don't know, 10 or something like that. Give them no, plus or minus a couple of years. And we're all watching Hook together. We're all sat round the telly. We'd had some dinner. And we were watching this Hook movie. And it got to this bit where, oh, I can't remember the part now, but it was something, I think, was it The Lost Boys? Dustin Hoffman, yeah. Dustin Hoffman played, I think was Robin Williams. Robin Williams was Peter Pan, wasn't he, I think? And it was something to do with the Lost Boys. They were choosing, I think, was it, what were they doing now? There was some part of it where someone was meant, you know, they wanted someone to do something and they wouldn't do it, but then they said, yeah, I'll do it or whatever. Anyway, whatever it was. So we're all sat there watching this movie. And all of a sudden, I just burst out crying and everyone's looking at me. The kids, the mother-in-law, the father-in-law, my wife are looking at me and going, I had to go out the room because I was crying my freaking eyes out. And ever since then, I've always been sort of like, oh shit, can I go and watch this film in the movies? Because like Lord of the Rings, for instance, Lord of the Rings has got some, for me anyway, some really emotional parts in it. And so watching Lord of the Rings at the pictures was always a funny one because I'd be there trying to. We'd get a seat at the back, and I'm struggling to keep it in check, to keep the blubbing under control. But yeah, amazing. I love blubby films, or do I? I don't know. I'm not sure. Bit embarrassing. What time's it now? So it's 13:15 here. I've been going for what 3 hours and 15 minutes. Oh yeah, yeah. I've yeah. I've not seen King Kong for years and years. When the music plays, yeah. Oh, is it? I don't know. What shall I do, guys? I can either finish abruptly now, or I can just play this track through where it is for the last 10 minutes, and then you can all have a bit of a chat in the chat. Just to recap where we're up to with this thing. Not mixed properly yet. I've got to do some serious EQing on the effects. But yeah, I mean, I can start this playing, and then over the next 10 minutes, you can say your goodbyes, and we'll have a cry. See you next week. It's such a lovely stream. And he was crying. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to go to the Reaper only so I can set my headphones off. Ah, bliss, silence. Yeah, that's getting somewhere, isn't it? I think. Um, I've turned the heating system off. Thanks, Brett. Yeah, thanks everyone. I quite like that. So I've got a new Reaper only um, scene on OBS, so that works quite well because it means I can play something on Reaper and go and get a butty or something like that, or go for a drink of water, or I don't know, put my lipstick straight. Because it mutes the camera and it also sorry mutes my mic, my lav mic, the Velia mic, and also turns me little OBS face cammy thing off. Yeah, so I think that works okay. And who didn't see my intro video? I've just it's only a little bit different. Let's put that on a set. Oh, isn't that nice? Uh, Celebrating 400 subscribers today as well. Cheers, everyone. Um, yes, I sometimes get the feeling I don't deserve it, but here we are. Yeah, it's just like a looping thing. Yeah, I made it in Resolve, Mike, with the rotating text bit. Um, the actual, like the main graphic is, it's a loop I created inside Chaotica. But no resolve really, no resolve in this. Oh no, sorry, no fusion should I say? But yeah, it was resolved. So yeah, I did the flame fractal animation in Chaotica, and then I brought that into DaVinci Resolve just to put the rotating text. But funnily enough, the 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 banner at the bottom. So I'll go quiet. Yeah, so that banner at the bottom, that's done in OBS as a bit of text. Um, all right, so I'll have a look at that, Mike. Yeah, I'll have a look at that. Yeah, Chaotica, Mike. It's a bit heavy. It's a bit heavy going, but it's good. It's one of the better ones for my in my book for flame fractal animation. Um, yeah, Mike, that's Chaotica doing that. So, but I tell you what, that camera up there, I'm always I'm looking at the camera now, but more often than not, I'm looking at the text. So, all right, cheers, Alex. Thank you very much for tuning in. And I think on that note, I must be strong because I can stay here for hours and hours and chat about nothing, and I've got stuff I need to do. Uh, yeah, Blender. I've got some Blender examples on my YouTube channel. Blender's so hard. I mean, I got into the non-linear editor a couple of years ago. Oh my goodness. It took me something like 6 weeks to do a 10-minute video. So yeah, it's good. It's good. I follow is it Ducky 3D for Blender? He does these sort of like abstract animated loops. So some good ideas there. So yeah, Blender's great. But yeah, more recently I've been using a lot of DaVinci Resolve Fusion for my YouTube stuff. So, what can I say? Of course, oh, my outro, just remembered. Sorry. I just realised I'm talking away there, but that outro screen doesn't have any text, any audio on it. But yeah, so I just need that's changed as well. So it's I thought I had to change that manually, but it's changed to the later graphic. I just need to change the text. So what about me right back one? Let's have a look. Yeah. Thank you. Over 3 hours and 30 minutes. I am definitely off now. Okay. Thank you very much for tuning in, everyone. Um, I appreciate it more than you could know. I really do. It's been a really fun day as well today. I feel like I've achieved something, even though it might not have been much. I think I've achieved something. Got a little bit further on that track, Bohrium, or wherever it's called. And so hopefully in the next couple of weeks, I will have that Ephemeral album released. So there you go. Thank you very much. Goodbye.